the copy of this bill, and let me just take you through the operative portions very quickly. And that's on page 2 when, of course, we're dealing with Article 330 of the Constitution, and that's where a provision for this reservation has been made. It says after Article 330 of the Constitution, the following articles shall be inserted, namely, seats shall be reserved for women in the House of the People. So that's point number 1. As nearly as may be, 1/3 of the total number of seats reserved under Clause 2 of Article 330 shall be reserved for women belonging to the scheduled castes or scheduled tribes. Just to give you a background, Meghna, Article 330 in the Indian Constitution pertains to seats that have been reserved in the House of the People, which is the Lok Sabha, for members of the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes community. And then it says, as nearly as may be, 1/3, including the number of seats reserved for women belonging to the SC and the ST communities, of the total number of seats to be filled by direct election to the House of the People shall be reserved for women. So 1/3 of the overall number of seats out of 543, I'm just kind of giving you a scenario right now, a numerical scenario, will be reserved for women. And also the 87 odd seats that have been reserved for the scheduled castes and the 40 odd for the scheduled tribes, those will also carry a 1/3 reservation for women. So this, of course, the numbers will change depending on the delimitation exercise that will take place in 2026, where the overall number of seats in the Lok Sabha is expected to expand. However, 1/3 of seats to be reserved for women, and the reservation will also be carried into the existing reservation for scheduled castes and scheduled tribes in the Lok Sabha. This will also be applicable to all the state assemblies in the Union of India, and also, of course, the Delhi Assembly as well, which is covered under Article 239AA.
Well, Siddharth, do stay on with us. A couple of clarifications I'd like to come back to you for. But let me go across to Shivani also, who's joining us. Shivani, it's very interesting because when we are looking through the entire contours of it, one of the big aspects that we've been highlighting, Madhav's also spoken about it, so that Siddharth, the fact that it is only going to happen after delimitation, which is slated for 2026. Only after that can this process of reservation be carried out.
Certainly, Meghna, as we see that how after the announcement of this particular Women's Reservation Bill, that is actually a big change. It has been a long pending bill that has not come to the table in the Lok Sabha. Now it has been announced, and Arjun Meghwal, the law minister, will table it today itself. As we have been seeing, the proceedings have already begun. And after the delimitation, that is to be scheduled for 2026. So probably we'll see that this kind of bill, and after all the changes, if it happens, we will see a large number of women representatives as people's representatives in Lok Sabha and all the assemblies in the next Lok Sabha election that would be scheduled for 2029. So this is a big change that would come. And in this objective also, if we see the document that has been accessed by the Times network, in this document, it is very clearly mentioned that as India is entering Amrit Kaal, Nari Shakti needs to be represented better. We should have more number of women in the people's representatives, that is the Lok Sabha as well as the state assemblies. And here Madhav and Siddharth has been breaking up these details, that how this is a matter of quota within quota. So the numbers will be decided, what share of numbers will come to the women in Lok Sabha and the state assemblies, because this will be something which we need to work upon. We need to see after the bill is passed. But certainly this is a big change, big historical change that Prime Minister was talking about. And in his address also he has said that this will be a big change that Parliament is moving on with in Lok Sabha, and Women's Reservation Bill will actually give more members in Lok Sabha as women. And the whole sense we get from what was hinted by Prime Minister on 15th of August also, while he was addressing that we need to encourage Nari Shakti, we need a lot of women encouragement. We have 50% women as India's population, so we need more people. So all this was coming with a meticulous preparation from the government side, and that's what we've been witnessing since past few days, since the special session of Parliament was called and speculations were on. And yesterday's cabinet meeting also, it all indicated how this has been passed. The planning has been done, and when now it will be tabled anytime soon by Arjun Meghwal, we'll see a big change in the coming for women representatives in Lok Sabha and the state assemblies. And also the credit war has started. You see a lot of celebration already happening outside Congress.